Did you know there's a hidden world beneath our feet? It's a place where light moves differently, and time seems to have its own rules. For centuries, explorers and adventurers have been fascinated by stories of this mysterious underworld. Welcome to Agartha, the legendary Inner Earth, a place full of wonder and secrets. So, are you ready to discover one of history's most mysterious journeys? But before we dive into the video, hit the like button and write "more" in the comments, as this platform is not a fan of these kind of videos. Now let's get started. Our story begins in 1829, when Olaf Jansen, just a young man at the time, set sail with his father on what should have been a routine fishing expedition off the coast of Norway. Little did they know their lives were about to take a turn into the extraordinary. Olaf and his father were just some normal fishermen, spending their days navigating the waters off the coast of Norway. But on this particular voyage, something occurred that would forever change both of their lives. As they were out on the open sea, a massive storm kicked up out of nowhere. We're talking about strong winds and towering waves crashing over the deck. Their little fishing boat was no match for Mother Nature's fury. For days, they battled the never-ending storm, being swept farther and farther off course into uncharted territory. Just when they felt like there was no hope left, a strange mist suddenly appeared, covering everything in a spooky haze. Now most sensible people would have turned their tail and headed back at the first sign of trouble. But not Olaf and his dad. These two were made of something else. As they pushed onward through the impenetrable mist, they suddenly found themselves face to face with a sight that defied all logic and reason. In the misty haze, a huge hole appeared in the icy surface. It looked like a big mouth, inviting you to explore what lies beneath the dark waters. Now, I don't know about you, but if I saw something like that, I'd be booking it in the opposite direction. But Olaf and his father, their curiosity and thirst for adventure won out over their fear of the unknown. They took a deep breath and steadied their nerves. Then, they decided to dive right into that mysterious opening, entering into a world that would challenge everything they thought they knew about our planet. As their ship went deeper and deeper into that shadowy passage, things just kept getting weirder and creepy. The waters gradually grew warmer, almost tropical, inhabited by all sorts of strange and fantastic sea creatures. And that was just the beginning. Above them, the dark sky slowly brightened with a mystical light, casting an otherworldly glow over everything around them. It felt like they had discovered a hidden place, a secret world laying deep within the earth. Now I can only imagine the doubts and disbelief running through Olaf's father's mind at that point. Here was a man of science and logic, suddenly confronted with something that defied all conventional wisdom and understanding. But as skeptical as he might have been, the evidence before his eyes was undeniable. The further they traveled into this subterranean wonderland, the more they encountered sights and discoveries that boggled the mind. Strange, unearthly creatures swam past their ship, some familiar yet others utterly alien. Towering rock formations loomed overhead, carved with intricate patterns and symbols that hinted at the presence of an advanced civilization. And then there were the ruins, crumbling remnants of grand cities and structures that spoke of a people far more advanced than anything found on the surface world. Just who could have built such marvels, and how did they come to dwell within the hollow depths of the earth? It was all so mind-bending, so contrary to everything Olaf and his father had ever known or believed. Yet the truth was staring them right in the face, challenging their preconceptions at every turn. As they sailed onward, thinking they had explored everything, their ship arrived at a green coast. It was covered in lush, colorful plants and filled with strange creatures. Standing there to welcome them were the Ariani, a tribe that would completely alter Olaf's view of the world. These advanced beings, who called themselves the Arianis, or Enlightened Ones, welcomed Olaf and his father with open arms, as if they'd been expecting them all along. And in a way, perhaps they had. You see, the Ariani were no cave dwellers or primitive tribe. No, these people possessed knowledge and technologies that made even the most advanced societies on the surface look downright primitive by comparison. As Olaf spent more and more time among them, he learned of their incredible origins and the secrets they kept with them about the true nature of our planet. According to the Ariani, they were the descendants of an ancient race that had once lived on the surface world eons ago. But some great catastrophe had devastated the Earth, forcing their ancestors to seek refuge deep underground, where they established a vast network of subterranean cities and civilizations. Over countless generations, they had evolved and adapted to their new environment, unlocking the mysteries of the Earth's inner workings and harnessing powers that most surface dwellers could comprehend. They talked about how the Earth isn't solid all the way through. Instead, it's like a shell with many layers. Each layer has its own lands, oceans, and ecosystems. The surface we see is just a tiny part, like a thin crust covering the amazing world inside. And that was just the tip of the metaphorical iceberg. The Ariani claimed to possess technologies that could manipulate the very magnetic forces and energy currents coursing through the planet's core. With their advanced sciences, they could shape and control the world around them in ways we could only dream of. But perhaps most astounding of all were their teachings about the true origins of humanity and the profound role their civilization had played throughout our ancient history. They told stories about their ancestors who had lived among our ancient ancestors on the Earth's surface. They helped and supported the development of early human societies. They were the ones who planted the first seeds of civilization, giving us the knowledge that helped us grow and spread all over the world. To Olaf and his father, these discoveries must have seemed like the wild ideas of crazy people. However, as they saw the amazing marvels of the Ariani world, it became more difficult to ignore their extraordinary stories. The truth was undeniable. They had stumbled upon a world and a civilization unlike anything known to the scholars and scientists of the surface, a hidden reality that upended all of our assumptions about the nature of the Earth and our place within it. Before we continue, make sure to watch our video, Portals to Agartha. Where are they found? All right, let's get back to our main video. After spending years among the Ariani people in their underground paradise, the time came for Olaf and his dad to journey back to the surface. But let me tell you, that trip was no walk in the park. They faced dangerous underwater currents and the constant danger of getting lost in the thick mist. With every step they took or stroke they took through those dark waters, they must have worried about never finding their way back to daylight. Yet onward they pushed, driven by their determination to share their mind-blowing discoveries with the world above. They knew full well that their tale would be met with skepticism and disbelief. They'd probably be labeled as liars and mentally unstable. But that didn't matter one bit to these two explorers. They had uncovered something too profound, too wondrous to be kept secret. As they emerged from their underground journey, they faced the freezing reality of the icy waters near Greenland. It was quite a shock. Fortunately, a passing ship saw them and rescued the tired adventurers, bringing them to safety. Once back on dry land in Norway, Olaf put his hands and mind to paper, recounting every astonishing detail of the inner world and the Ariani he had encountered. His writing was like a magical story come alive, full of vivid details that would capture the imagination of anyone who had the chance to read it. But here's the twist. The scientific elite of the day essentially laughed Olaf's mind-blowing story out of the room. To them, his claims amounted to nothing more than the delusional ramblings of a madman. Despite being criticized and ridiculed by his so-called peers, this tenacious explorer refused to stay silent. Olaf took his show on the road, spreading the word of the inner world and its inhabitants to anyone willing to lend an ear. Whether presenting to a crowd of 5 or 500, he remained committed to having his true narrative heard. Fast forward to today, Olaf Jansen's story still grabs readers' attention and sparks curiosity worldwide. His well-documented adventure has inspired many fictional works that imagine secret worlds and ancient civilizations hidden from our view. For true believers, Olaf's story serves as interesting evidence that our planet still possesses secrets waiting to be uncovered. To the skeptics and critics, well, his story stands as a prime example of how human curiosity can lead to an overly active imagination. Whether you see it as true or a story, there's no doubt that this tale persuades a lasting sense of wonder and curiosity. It's a powerful reminder that our world, despite all we know, still holds many mysteries for those who are brave enough to explore beyond the familiar. Olaf Jansen's words have the power to transport us to a hidden universe, coexisting alongside our own, where an ancient race of humans defied the constraints of the surface world we know. His account pushes us to consider the possibility that the boundaries of our reality might be far more elastic than we ever dared to imagine. Olaf Jansen's adventure into the inner world is like a magnet for curiosity. Some call it crazy, but it's the kind of story that lights up our imagination. It reminds us to let go of what we think we know and explore the mysteries that still puzzle us on Earth. It dares us to be seekers of what lies just beyond the outermost boundaries of our current understanding. The lasting curiosity from their incredible journey is maybe the best thing Olaf Jansen could have left for the world to remember him by. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Make sure to watch our other video, Did the Anunnaki Create Black People? We really hope you enjoyed today's video. Take care and goodbye.